So, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over the world. As another segment of the Easy Talk, one of one of 2 or 3 segments we have still on Cannon Fodder TV, and it's 2 years. We've been running Cannon Fodder TV for 2 years. IG, Richard, and Glenn. It's gone very, very quick, but I'm hoping today's going to be a bite size. But before we get into the topics, I'm going to have my Cannon Fodder TV cupcake.
Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday.
It's not going to be a bite size. I think it's going to be a feature length version today, IG. Thanks to you, man. Anyhow, yeah, so welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the Easy Talk feature length version. I've got Richard from Arsenal TV. Richard, good evening. How are you, mate?
Yeah, man, I'm good. It just feels weird not having Arsenal for the next week or so. But do you know what? The week has been nice. The winter break's been nice. And obviously spending time with family. So, yeah, it's good to have a break.
Good, good. IG, aka Indian Gooner.
Well, always a pleasure, and congratulations, Alex, for completing 2 years for the channel. I just want to know how is the cupcake. That's it.
Shall I send you one, IG?
Not the images. Not the images.
Oh, okay. And we've got another newbie on the channel, Glenn Knightley. Glenn, so we just call you G or GK or just Glenn? How should we call you?
GK, my nickname is also GG. Glenn, any of them is fine with me. And congratulations to you for 2 years, but I can't believe this is the first time on the show after 2 years.
Well, some things do take time, Glenn.
just Glenn, just ask Alex how many Glens have been in the show.
There have been many?
There's been 2. And I just trying to create
2?
some problems, some trouble.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. Thanks for having me.
Anyway. So, guys, thank you for coming back on the Cannon Fodder TV. And, yeah, I've got a couple of topics we wanted to talk about. But before we do that, just want to remind you guys, whoever is watching now, or maybe at a later stage, make sure you subscribe to Cannon Fodder TV. On all platforms, we are up and running and firing back on YouTube. But there you go. Press the notification button so you can receive all the latest and greatest news right here on Cannon Fodder TV. Right, so like we said, the first thing we wanted to talk about was the winter break, IG. The winter break, the first winter break in the Premier League. Has it come at the right time for Arsenal?
Well, we've been a draw specialist of late, and we could have lost those games, but I think it's a blessing in disguise. I think lots of changes are coming to the Premier League. You know, the winter break, and now we've got the summer transfer window extended for the whole 3 months. So I think the best things are actually happening, because I think much needed break, because I think most importantly the results are definitely not going where we want it to be. But I think we've been at a better space with a better mentality, and the way we've progressed through the thing. I think we needed this break, because we know that tough competitions are coming up. The FA Cup next round is coming up, and we've got the most crucial Europa League clash against Olympiacos. I think that's the only way to think about European competition next season, practically possible for us. So I think much needed break right now, because we've got new central defenders, you've got a new manager who's just imposed his style 6-7 games odd. So I think, yes, much needed break.
Okay. And Glenn, what do you think? Has the break come at the right time for Arsenal?
For me, definitely yes, especially because Cedric is currently injured and Pablo Mari has just signed. So this gives the Arteta and the players a time to gel and to be fresh for the upcoming fixtures. Immediately after the break, we have some really easier fixtures for us, but we'll probably end up drawing all of them. We have Newcastle, we have, I think, Brighton. So many winnable games. So I think the break has come at the right time, definitely.
Richard.
Yeah, for me, I think the break has come at a good needed time. Now, a lot of us fans were complaining years ago that there was not a winter break where we had Champions League games and European competition, and we thought that these players actually need a rest. And now we've got a winter break, and I think it's good that the players can recharge and get ready to see out the rest of the season. Um, and I think that it's given Mikel Arteta a good time to implement more of his stuff in terms of the team and get us more organised in defence as well as now going into attack. Because I think now our attack is now becoming more of a problem. Now we've got our defence sort of organised. So that's what he needs to rectify for the rest of the season. Hopefully, we'll get some wins.
Glenn, we did a poll on Twitter a couple of days ago. And the question was, once the winter break is over, do you think Arteta will make major changes, or do you think he will keep the same set of players? And the poll results actually came in just before we went live. And the results are 50-50. So 50% of the people think that Arteta will make some major changes, and the other 50% think that he will keep the same team. What do you think he will do?
I would actually agree. For us fans, we definitely would want him to make some changes, but I'm pretty sure he wouldn't make some changes because he's kind of keen on keeping Ozil in the team, keeping Lacazette on the team. At least he made a change with dropping Pepe on the bench, which us fans we didn't like. But I think he's gonna make some changes, maybe 2 or 3 changes, especially with the new players. So I'm expecting the new players to come in, but not really major changes, not really.
Archie, do you think he'll make major changes, or do you think he'll keep the continuity going?
I think this manager has shown faith in the players who were failures in the recent times, like Granit Xhaka. What a turnaround that has been. So that Granit Xhaka has been a consistent performer, and same goes with Mustafi. Scott Mustafi. Error-prone Scott Mustafi. That lone goal, first goal of Tammy Abraham against Chelsea. David Luiz sent off. It was the biggest mistake that Scott Mustafi committed in the recent times. But then he showed faith in him. He picked him up, and what a solid performance against Burnley. See, one thing I understand that Arteta is trying to bring the old Arsenal back. What I'm reading, what I've been reading for the past 2 days, this guy is actually going to, Highbury back, talking to the old staff, and he's also keen to bring in Arsene Wenger to drive the fans in. So I think lots of things he's doing it, and I think he's trying to bring in the Arsenal culture back. So which I don't think so. Any other manager, since Arsene Wenger left, like there was Emery, Lundberg, they didn't try to do that. So I think Arteta is doing really good. And talking about the changes, I think the biggest conundrum is that a team is always a failure in attack if their star striker is not firing. Look at Atletico Madrid; they're dead. Their attack is dead. Costa is out because of the disciplinary actions. Shaw Felix has been a failure. Morata has always been a failure since he left Real Madrid, and that's not happening. So for us, Lacazette, how many times has he been caught? Whether creativity has not been the problem. And also talking about Arteta, I mean Mesut Ozil. I mean Mesut. Yeah, that was me. I'm sorry. Mesut. I mean, he had a chance to sell Mesut Ozil. There was a Qatari side who came in to buy him up, but he didn't sell Mesut Ozil because the Dani Olmo was actually available from Dinamo Zagreb, and he actually went on to sign for RB Leipzig. So he didn't take the risk. He kept Ozil. So I don't think so. There would be much changes because he has his style of play, which can be you can see the imposition of that probably next season.
Richard, your thoughts?
Well, I don't personally think Mikel Arteta will make a lot of changes in terms of the team lineup. I would like to see maybe 3 players come in terms of the starting 11 for the Newcastle game, because I think there's a few players that have been underperforming in recent games. And one of the players I will say is what IG mentioned, Mesut Ozil. He's been underperforming again. It's like he's gone back to in his shell again. And I would like to see either Willock or Danny Ceballos be given a chance to play in that role. Lacazette, I think he needs to be dropped. I've got no idea where he's gone. No idea. And I think hopefully this break has done him the world of good. I'm hoping. If not, then he needs to be dropped as well. I would like to see Aubameyang more central, and I would like to see Martinelli out on that left-hand side instead of Aubameyang. The only changes I would like to see Mikel Arteta do is trying to improve us in going forward in terms of the attack, because I think that's what's lacking at the minute. Where he's now built a structure in terms of the defensive, he wants to be for us to be more defensive, and the players like Martinelli or whoever is on that left-hand side and right-hand side, they've now got to do a defensive job as well. So for us going forward, that's what's lacking, because they've also got to remember what they've got to do defensively if they lose the ball. So hopefully that improves. But I don't see any dramatic changes.
Glenn, I mean, we've spoken so many times about a particular player, our number 10. Where do you stand on our number 10? What's your thoughts on our number 10?
Well, Richard has said that Ozil has just gone back to his shell, but I'm pretty sure Ozil has been in his shell for like 5 years now. I saw a stat where they said since Emery left, all the games Ozil has started has only made 1 assist. 1 assist, and it's supposed to be our creative player. Not really. So for me, I prefer having Lacazette as the number 10. Yes, he doesn't score goals these days, but the hard work, you need it in the number 10 position. So Ozil, for me, should be gone already.
But so then begs the question: why does Arteta play Lacazette, who has not scored in X amount of games? Why does he continue playing Ozil, who only has 1 assist in so many games? Glenn, why is he persisting with these players?
I think people have been caught in that thought of Ozil is a creative player, and people don't want to get themselves out of that thought. Obviously, Ozil has dropped off far away, and he should not be playing for us, because for Lacazette, at least he works hard. So he should be playing as a number 10 for us. And maybe Arteta just wants to try out the players since he just came like a month or 2 months ago right now. He just wants to see what the players are going to give him. So I'm sure by now he's seen what Ozil can give. That's why he's been substituting him in the last 3 games in the 60th minute. So I guess it's time for him to go.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a common theme. I think IG, it's a good thing we don't have Gooner on the channel tonight, man.
Well, I think Alex, if you want views, you need to bring in Glenn and Mubay, and you need to just start that spark called Arsenal number 10.
Another thing with Ozil, he doesn't even shoot the ball. He doesn't score goals at all. You can't even compare them with someone like De Bruyne. I mean, they're both number 10s, but wow, he doesn't even score goals.
Yeah. For me, it's an enigma, but that's one thing that Arteta has to try and sort out. Lacazette, he needs to be dropped. He's in pain. Ozil, IG was said so many times, but anyway. Anyone's just watching? We've got Glenn, the new improved Glenn, on Cannon Fodder TV. We've also got IG. What's wrong with IG? And we've also got
What's wrong with Richard?
I don't know, Richard. We've also got Richard from Arsenal TV, who's making his way to 1,000 subscribers. Richard, what's your subscriber count now?
847.
Okay. You still got a little way to go.
Yeah.
Let's just quickly get into the chat and see what people have been saying. I can see some familiar faces here. One of which is Stan the Man, who says, "Good afternoon, lads." Well, it's not good afternoon here, Stan. It's good night, isn't it? What's wrong with you? Too many Hennessy's, I think. Yeah, dearie me. And then he goes on to say, 2 years and many more to come. Yeah, it's been hard work. Getting us to the stage. But we can't do Cannon Fodder TV or all the segments without any viewers, subscribers, or even guests who kindly take their time to come onto the channel. So it's we exist because of you guys. So thank you very much to you guys anyway. And then he says, "Oh dear, Glenn, why are you saying oh? Oh, right, IG."
Where's the jar, Alex? Where's the jar?
I
It's with
don't
Stan,
know.
right?
Stan's got the jar. Glenn, if you're not sure what we're talking about, every time someone mentions the name of the number 10, you're supposed to put money in the pot.
Uh-huh.
And I think you owe us a lot of money, Glenn.
Should be on millions and billions by now.
I think we would generate a lot of millions before generating million subscribers on this channel.
Stan's made it a triple crown. He's I take it. No one told you about the tin. Yeah. So we've just told Glenn now about the good old tin. And here comes Mube Gooner, who says we had defensive problems, and he seems to be fixing that. You're right. Yeah. Will take time. Will take time to be perfected. Not much changed. Yep. You're right, Mube. He's. Yeah. I mean, I'm old school. I want Arsenal to be very, very difficult to break down.
Yeah.
Forget about playing all this attractive football. Playing attractive football and losing doesn't mean anything. But anyway, and then Stan again. He's got the he's got more. Stan, I didn't mention his name. It must have been Glenn, not me.
Am I a serial offender here?
I don't know. Are you, IG? And do you know what he says? I give up. Oh, dear me. Say again?
Who is Stan gonna turn to when Ozzy leaves?
IG?
I think we're gonna use that whole money. That's the point. We want him to leave. We are funding a party. We're gonna fund a Stan's party where Mube is not allowed.
Yeah. We created a lot of chances. We are just not taking them. So I don't think we are missing much. Well, we are. If we're not taking our chances, we're missing, aren't we? Gonna be taking our chances. Without the chances being put away, we're draw specialists. IG, how many draws have we got now?
13, 14.
Right.
Yeah.
Six wins, 6 loss, 13. Yeah, 13 draws.
Yeah.
But Al, as I keep saying to a lot of people, most of those games that we've drew this season, we would have lost last season. So it is an improvement. It is an improvement.
You think?
And
Sorry, IG.
If that's an improvement, most of those draws have actually come under Unai Emery.
There you go.
Is it really an improvement? Most of those games that we've drawn, we won last season, like Burnley away. A team like Sheffield at home, we should be beating totally.
Yeah.
So I'd say the only draw that is welcome is maybe the Chelsea draw away from home.
No, I think you're underestimating Sheffield United and Chris Wilder. I'm sorry, because these are the teams. Wolves, they got double on Manchester City.
Uh-huh.
I mean, come on, how can you underestimate? You cannot even underestimate Brighton. I mean, we're gonna have a tough week ahead for us.
Well, okay, maybe Sheffield have underestimated them, but the other teams, Burnley's away and all that, we've been winning the past season, so.
Okay. And Stan goes on to say that I'm proud of you, Alex. Thank you, Stan. Glenn, Lacazette can't make a 10-yard pass. Drop Ozil and Laka. Both are poor at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, I have Lacazette in the number 10 position because of his hard work, not really because of his creativity. He works so much, so hard, and you can't really afford to drop him out of the team completely. And there's no other place he could play him really apart from the number 10. So that's why I'd have him there. Unless Mobe has someone else to play there, because Sabias hasn't really worked. Willock, I'm not sure about him. So unless we have to buy someone.
And Al, do you know what? I will actually say that. No, Mube makes a good point. Lacazette can't. He can't make a 10-yard pass at the minute. He's even taken unnecessary touches that he wouldn't have took last season. People forget that Lacazette was our best player last season. He was our standout player. And another thing is, with Lacazette, even if you got Ozil in the side, Lacazette shouldn't be dropping deep anyway to get the ball. So what does that make Ozil? What's he doing? As you are the main striker, you are supposed to stay up top. Let the number 10 do the tracking back to retrieve the ball and get it to the attack. Why is Lacazette coming back to get it?
Because the number 10 is not tracking back.
Exactly. So really, to be honest, in terms of both of their performances, I'm hoping that this 2-week break has done Lacazette a world of good. Because if he comes back and he goes against Newcastle and then he's still misfiring, he needs to be dropped. He needs to be dropped. Play Abba. Play Aubameyang.
Yeah.
And have someone the likes of Willock and Ceballos in that number 10 role.
IG, I want to ask you a question, IG. When Aubameyang was suspended for the 3 games, did we miss him?
No, not at all. Not at all. Because I think we changed the whole the game plan. I think the whole thing changed. We had a new hero in town, Gabriel Martinelli, and I think everyone showed spirit. It was a different thing. It's like Tottenham playing without Harry Kane. They win. They still go on to win because you have your star. Yes, but what if he's not there? You have somebody else take that position. So I think we have that. We have central strikers. We've got 3 central strikers I can name that can play centrally. And I've got 3 options who can play on the left wing. That's Saka, there's Martinelli, there's Aubameyang. But why isn't your primary central striker not firing?
Yeah.
Because you cannot keep him anywhere else. And that's the problem. He's not a versatile. He's an old school striker. He's just gonna, just like Olivier Giroud, he's gonna place himself and he's gonna score. And the problem is, Giroud is still better in 1,000 times better in air than Lacazette.
Imagine that. Yeah.
But I would still back him because.
Say again, Glenn?
None of you guys agree that Lacazette should be tried as a number 10.
We just hope that he plays as a number 9.
For Lacazette's hold-up play, I guess it wouldn't be a bad idea in playing him as a number 10, but a number 10's role is to create chances. And as Mube says, Lacazette can't even make a 10-yard pass. So how is he supposed to create chances?
Ozil isn't doing that either, and you're surviving at the moment. So you rather have someone who can actually work hard in the middle, rather than someone who doesn't create and doesn't work hard. And that's just for the performance remaining.
Yeah, but Glenn, as I said, that's not Lacazette's job. Lacazette's job is to score goals, not to be a number 10 replacement. If you want to use him in making him track back, then play him as a false 9. Play with a 3 up top, but use him as a false 9.
That would work for me.
It's
because I want Aubameyang to play as the number 9. I prefer Aubameyang as a number 9.
But I would prefer Martinelli as a number 9 because I think he can head better than both of them.
Yeah.
So I think Martinelli as a central striker is an unbelievable idea.
But doesn't he give us more going back to defense?
I'm sorry?
Doesn't he give us more defending on the left wing or the right wing? Martinelli?
I think defensively, not that astute, but still he tracks back a lot. I've seen him track back a lot against Chelsea when we were a man down. I think he was there in the box. So I think if you talk about the dynamics and the way we play, like against Chelsea when a man down, I think we were completely waiting for a counter attack, and that's what happened. That's how we came back both the times. So I think the whole idea changes when Martinelli has to play. I mean, we just sit back and wait for a chance because he has pace and he's got the dribbling and he's got the finishing. My only point, him being as a central striker, is he's really great in air. I mean, his headers are unbelievable.
True. Yeah. Back in the chat. Our strikers don't score goals, Glenn, Mube says.
That's why I want us to try something new. Just try something new. This season, we don't really expect anything from Arteta. That's why I want him to try new things, just different things. Not that I want Lacazette to play as the number 10 forever. No, but these 4 months remaining in the season, just try him, just see what he can do there. Try put Ozil on the bench. Try Pepe as a number 10. Try putting midfield of 3 people, Xhaka, Lacazette, and Torreira. Try a back 5. Just try something meanwhile as we wait for next season.
Okay. And actually, Stan says, why are we so fixated with having a number 10? 2 number 8s working alongside a DM. Maybe, Richard?
I don't see why not. Because you're gonna have the DM sitting back in protecting that back line, and you've got 2 number 8s sitting in front of him. But that means playing a 4-3-3. I don't see why not. I think that could work because you're gonna have 2 energy players that's got high energy to go forward. Then the defensive midfielder doesn't have to do much apart from just to go up when he needs to, and then just come back to protect that back line. So I don't see why not. But I think number 10s in modern day football is now going out. It's fading away. Yeah, because like if you compare Özil to a player like Kevin De Bruyne or a player like Hamek Ziyech, completely different. They give everything. They track back. They create chances. They score goals. Özil's not doing that. He's not doing that.
IG, do you want to say something, IG?
I think the problem with 4-3-3 and the players that Arsenal have got, I don't think so. They have imposing wingers. From the right hand side, you can see Nicola Pepe, but would you want to see him, cut back in? And he just has a very a primary role, probably making a fool out of defenders, or when he may create chances for his left leg to shoot. But from the left hand side, I could see Saka doing that. But Aubameyang as a left winger, imposing, cutting in and scoring, no, I don't see that happening. I see him creating more chances, like getting in those crosses. He's good in doing that, or getting in a getting along with a fullback, getting a pass or something, creating something. So on the left, Aubameyang is a creator, not a goal scorer. So 4-3-3, you need your wingers to be really powerful. They need to be scoring, like Sterling, Sane, Salah, Mane. These guys are imposing. I mean, you need to defend 2 defenders at one single time to actually, they take away 2 defenders straight away to defend. So I think we don't have imposing wingers for now. And right now, as our fullback situation has not healed up completely, so I don't think so that would work.
Mube says Ozil is the best man for the job at the moment.
No, I personally think we might.
What job?
I would give Willock a chance. I think Willock deserves a chance.
Mube, are you drinking some Hennessy, man?
Seriously, what job?
But then again, we did have a player that can play in that centre attacking midfield role, and that was Smith Rowe, but he's gone out on loan to Huddersfield.
Yeah. Mube, IG is asking you, what job? What job are you talking about that Ozil's perfect for? Which job are you talking about? He's not creating, Mube. So
taking them wages and meeting Mohamed El-Neni.
There you go.
Shots fired.
Lacazette needs to try working his way back into the team from the bench.
Yeah,
good
I
point,
agree.
Stan. Absolutely.
So we're talking about.
It'll also be a good chance for him to get his head together as well.
What you say, Glenn?
We're talking about dropping both Lacazette and Ozil at the same time.
Yep.
Yep.
And then bringing who in, Richard? Who will be the 2 you'd bring in?
I'd play Aubameyang up top, Martinelli out on the left, and I would actually bring in either Willock or Ceballos in that number 10 role.
And then Pepe on the right?
Yeah, Pepe on the right, yeah.
Well, makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Some more in the chat. Mube says, stop trying to put Laka in midfield. He needs to score goals or bench him. Simple. No favoritism.
But he works
Look
hard.
who's talking.
He really works hard.
What's that, Glenn?
He really works hard. Let's be honest. He really works hard.
he does. But
Glenn, the only thing is you cannot fault his work rate, but sometimes work rate is not enough when you're struggling to get goals, to win games. That is his job. That's what he gets paid for. He gets paid for scoring goals, and he hasn't scored a goal in over a year.
So, Glenn, I don't want to burst your bubble, but I would really like to say this, that you talk about work rate, you talk about defensive midfielders. You don't think you don't expect defensive midfielders to score goals, but when they do, you're happy. You expect your strikers to score goals. Now, if you're working hard, you're either creating, you're either scoring. If you don't do both, you get out. You're in the bench.
yeah.
And Torreira is a defensive midfielder, and he's got more goals than Lacazette this season.
Mube goes on. Mube's like, he's just like dominating the chat. He says, no need to switch formation. Emery tried that, and we saw how that went. Players need to adapt.
I'd keep the formation as it is. And just, if you're going to take Lacazette out, then put Aubameyang up top.
Okay.
It's simple.
Right. Stan says, Mube's been hacked. It wasn't me.
It is definitely not me.
Either that or the Hennessy's taken over.
Guys, the other thing we wanted to talk about was our fantasy football back four. We know that we've got William Saliba, who's yet to come into Arsenal. Got Pablo Mari. We've got Suarez as well. But guys, who would form your best, your ultimate back four? Glenn.
At Arsenal alone?
Whatever. Either or.
Oh, well, for Arsenal right now, it would be easy because it would be Bellerin, Tierney, and probably Saliba and Pablo Mari. I'm sure you haven't seen much of them, but for now, I think they're better than what we have. But for the general defenders, most of them would come from Liverpool probably. Alexander-Arnold at right back, definitely Van Dijk at centre back, and someone who most people wouldn't say, and that is Johnny Evans at Leicester. He's a really good defender, experienced defender, and probably a left back again, another Liverpool defender, Robertson. That would be my ultimate back four from the Premier League.
Okay. Richard.
If I have to go with an Arsenal back four, I would go with Bellerin at right back. This is where I'm going to go with some old players. I would go with Tony Adams in the centre back, and I would go with Sol Campbell, and then at left back I would go with Kieran Tierney.
Quick question: how far away is Tierney from making his way back into the first team? Does anybody know?
March. He's coming in March, mid-March, mid to end March.
Goodness gracious! Man.
But if I have to go with a fantasy, what my ideal right back would be, I would go with Carvajal at right back, and I would go with Dayot Upamecano at centre back with Virgil van Dijk, and I would go with Marcelo at left back.
Okay. IG.
Well, if you're talking about Arsenal and the current squad, I don't think so. Anybody's worthy enough because we've not seen them play a whole season, not even 10-20 games straight up. They get injured straight away. So I think if you ask me, I would see Ricardo from Leicester on my left back position. Centrally, I'd pick Koulibaly and Merai Demiral from Juventus. I mean, powerful defending. Yeah. And on the right back, I don't know. Defensively, I don't know if I'm stuck between Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Ben Chilwell.
Okay. Not bad at all. Richard, you wanted to talk about some other bits and pieces about certain players.
Yeah, I'm hearing that there is that Mikel Arteta and Arsenal are looking to sell the free trio, which is Lacazette, Aubameyang, and Mesut Ozil. Now, I'm going to be doing a video about this and getting my thoughts in it. I'm a bit concerned about it. I'm not concerned about Arsenal in selling Mesut Ozil. He can go. by all means. That's 500 grand. That's £500,000 off the wages of the bill completely, because that's how much Özil gets. He doesn't just get 350 grand. He gets £500,000 because of his advertisement and everything else. Now, I'm concerned about us either selling Aubameyang, because if we sell Aubameyang, where are we going to get a world-class striker from who's going to score 20, 30 plus goals within a season? That's what I'm worried about. Where is our goals going to come from? And the other thing I'm worried about is, are the board going to replace the players that we sell and bring in new players? Because I don't think they will. If we do sell Mesut Ozil, or if we sell Aubameyang and Lacazette, I know what's going to happen. If we sell either one of them, you know what the fan base is going to be like. We're going to start turning, saying, why are we selling our best players again? Just like the same thing when we were selling Alexis Sanchez to Man United, when we sold Cesc Fabregas, when we sold Robin van Persie. It's a never-ending cycle. We're just going to moan about it when we're selling our best players. So that's what I'm worried about. And I personally don't think that the board will replace them with the players in the areas that we need. If we sell Aubameyang, are they going to go and spend out for another striker, or are they just going to use the players that we've got, are the academy players? That's what I'm worried about.
So you're worried about us being the Premier League's Borussia Dortmund, a selling club, basically.
Yeah. Because if we do sell Lacazette, Aubameyang, Özil, we wouldn't be far of getting relegated, to be quite honest, because it's Aubameyang that's been keeping us up. If it wasn't for him and it wasn't for Bernd Leno, we would be in relegation. We are more closer to relegation than we are top four at this point in time in the season. And that's if we don't start picking up wins.
True, more than I agree, but I think we don't give enough credit for the players, Arsenal, other players who actually created those chances for Aubameyang's goals. I think it was a team effort. I completely agree with you. And if you ask me that whether the board will do that or not, that is a thing for the future. But if a player is refusing to commit his future to the club, this club has already mentioned that the new board, when they actually came in, they said if a player has less than 2 years left on his contract, they're gonna take no bullshit. I mean, these are the types of fans. The problem is that if we let these players do what they want, it's just gonna be another Aaron Ramsey situation. We don't want that. We just let Aaron Ramsey, who's earning 400K a week at Juventus, go for free. That was a crime. That's the latest crime. That's the biggest crime that any team can ever do. And we've done that. So we don't want that to happen. So if he doesn't sign a contract, we should sell him.
Yeah. But IG, the other thing is the board going to stick to what they say?
I think they should. I don't know. I have to wait and see, because the coming summer transfer window is the biggest one for Barcelona, and for us, it is. So if Aubameyang goes away, I think we shouldn't get someone a like-to-like replacement. I would want Arteta to impose everything. I mean, it's his style. He should demand those players. And now if Aubameyang, if obviously Barcelona would try to not overpay for Aubameyang because of his age, and even if we get 40 million, I'll take it. I'll pump those money to bring in Ciro Immobile to Arsenal, because he's been doing 20 to 25 goals for the last 2-3 seasons at Serie A. I would want him back here because he's been unbelievable. 25 goals straight away till now in, I think, 90 to 20 games. I'd buy that kind of a talent, or Lautaro Martinez. But the problem is Lautaro is expensive. I think he has more than 100 million as a release clause. So I think I'd go for Ciro Immobile.
So if we sold Mesut Ozil, who would you bring in?
I would have brought in Dani Olmo, but I would bring in Marcel Sabitzer from Red Bull Leipzig. He's exceptional in creating chances. We had a chance of bringing in Christopher Nkunku, who's doing unbelievable at Red Bull Leipzig again. So I think the problem is that we have future stars in our academy. We've got Emil Smith-Rowe, Miguel Aziz, who's actually coming in through the ranks. Folarin Balogun is there. You got Nketiah, Saka, I mean Willock, Nelson with the new hairstyle. So I think you've got a lot of you got a lot of things, and then I think the biggest problem would then come for game time. So I think if they develop or don't develop, that's not my headache. But if Mesut Ozil goes in, I think we should go for Marcel Sabitzer from Red Bull Leipzig.
Well, IG doesn't it really depend on why the player is refusing to commit their future. If it's money, wouldn't you do everything possible to try and keep someone like Aubameyang? If it's trophies, wouldn't you like try and convince him to stay? It's not like he's fallen out to the fans completely and he wants out of England. It's not like he's totally fallen out of in love with England as a country and he wants to leave. If it's money, or would they not like as someone like Aubameyang deserve not to like get some more money to stay?
Well, the problem is that Aubameyang has not much, he's not won much in his life. When he was in Saint Etienne, AC Milan, when he went to Borussia Dortmund, he's not won much. He didn't have much silverware. So probably he came to Arsenal to change the history, to start winning things. He still believes. I mean, even Bird Leno's, these guys believe that they can win something, even having a terrible season like this. So I think he would. The biggest thing is that it's not always all about the money. It's about silverware. The biggest reason why Christian Eriksen left Tottenham, they didn't win last season. He didn't want to commit his future. He went to Inter Milan, and Tottenham had to take it because they needed some money. They got 20 million. That's it. For a player who's now the most expensive, highly valued, highly rated, 84 to 94 million pound, Christian Eriksen was sold for 20 million. Don't you think it's a crime again?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's not. I don't think it's to do with money with Aubameyang. I think it's more, like you say, IG. It's about silverware. He wants to win stuff. He's 30, 31, 30.
31.
Yeah. So he wants to win stuff. I don't believe it's about the salary and the money and the fame. It's literally he wants to get some kind of silverware.
If that's the case, then I believe Arteta can really convince most of our players to stay and wait for next season. I want most of the players to stay, maybe 2 or 3 to go.
Yeah,
because who do you want to go, Glenn?
For me, I know Mustafi. People say he has improved, but I'd definitely get rid of Mustafi. Ozil, definitely. Ozil will be the first option, and then Mustafi and probably Xhaka, the 3 of them. That just hasn't worked out for them at Arsenal.
Mm-hmm. Richard, sorry, you said something, Richard.
Yeah. I was actually gonna say that we still have a chance to win trophies this season. We've still got the FA Cup to play for. We've still got Europa League to try and go for as well. So they're still in our reach, but we have to keep the mentality. The mentality has to be to win, not to draw, not to lose. If we're going to play these tournaments, it's to win. And maybe if we win them, then maybe they might consider saying, you know what, okay, I might stay at the club. But Mikel Arteta, this is not his full season. And I reckon that in the summer, there will be changes. And I reckon there will be a whole heap of players going. Mesut Ozil could at least be one of them. Mustafi could be one of them. I wouldn't be surprised if David Luiz or Socrates will be going as well, because I think they've only got near enough 1 year left on their contracts. We've got Saliba coming in, who is absolute a beast over in St Etienne this season. So maybe that's what he's looking at. And I reckon we'll go and get the likes of Dyer Upamecano in the summer, because that is the type of time that RB Leipzig are looking to sell him, because we were supposed to be going for Upamecano in January, but RB Leipzig, because they was challenging for their league, they was winning their league title, and plus in the Champions League, they said no, we'll sell him in the summer, because he's crucial to their team at the minute. And I reckon when the summer comes around, there is going to be a whole heap of changes. And I reckon half the players that we've got won't be there.
Yeah. Which 3 would you
sell? I still reckon we need to go and get another defensive midfielder to come in not replacement for Torreira as such, but if he gets injured, we've got someone for backup. And I'd be looking at probably someone the likes of Wilfred Ndidi, maybe Decore at Watford. Go and bring in someone like that. Ozil, I reckon he would go, and I would go and get in Hakim Ziyech from Ajax. Go and get him. Go and get him, because he will provide what Ozil is not providing at the minute. And
How about you?
even Hakim Ziyech even said that his dream clubs is Arsenal and Barcelona. Even though he's got the likes of Chelsea and Man United linking him, he's already turned around and said his ideal clubs, his dream clubs he wants to go to is Arsenal and Barcelona. So if Arsenal will go, you know he's going to take it.
His dream club is Arsenal because Mesut Ozil is here. So if Ozil is leaving, I don't think so he's got any other motivation to come to Arsenal.
Yeah. More money in the tin, AG. Let's get back into the chat. Mube says, I would love to see Grealish come in if we sell Ozil. Won't be too expensive and a born Gooner. Yeah, I think we spoke about that last week, didn't we? And also, Standerman says, Donny van der Beek. Why not Donny van der Beek? And Mube says, keep Aubameyang, sell the rest, to be honest. Yeah, all right. Okay, keep drinking the Hennessy, IG.
Yeah, we'll sell Arteta as well.
Stan says, IG's face when Glenn said Johnny Evans. What happened? What happened? What's wrong with Johnny Evans?
He's a very committed defender.
There you go. And then we have who will come and take our number 10 in the summer. It's going to be at Arsenal, right, until the end. Then we'll go to Turkey on a free. Is that a possibility? Will he leave Arsenal on a free?
If no one is going to be able to pay his wages, then yeah, it might be the only option. If Arsenal can't get him off the wage bill, if no one's willing to pay it.
Yeah. Okay. And then Mube says the same players you are mentioning had their chance under Emery and failed. Willock, Ceballos, etc., etc. Ozil. Yeah.
No, he won't say that. He won't say that. That etc. doesn't include that name.
Oh, dearie me. Yeah. Listen, whoever's passing by for the last time, just watching this Easy Talk bite size. I've got IG in the house. I've got also the new improved Glenn, and also I've got Richard from Arsenal TV in the house. Guys, before we wrap up this Easy Talk, we're going to be back in action in like a week's time, I think, against Newcastle.
Not this week. Yeah, not this weekend. The weekend.
Yeah. Glenn, what's your thoughts? Do you think we can finally get the 3 points?
Well, our history against Newcastle is very good. I think they've beaten us twice in the last 10 years. They've beaten us twice. That was the Andy Carroll head at our place, and Wenger's last season when Richie scored at their place. And I definitely think we can take 3 points. And as I've said, our fixtures after that Newcastle game, we are going to have Everton at home. Luckily, the Man City game has been postponed. They're going to play the Carabao Cup final. We're going to have West Ham at home, Brighton away, and Southampton away. Those 5 games, you should ideally try and get a run and try and get 4 wins and 1 draw. But as I've said, you probably get 4 draws and 1 loss. So I think Newcastle game at home, we should really get 3 points from that. And a convincing win, not 1-0 that we struggled for. Something like 3-0. Try something. So a convincing win will help.
Yeah. IG's got a look on his face. IG, what's up?
I think I agree what Glenn said. I think the way we are, I think against Newcastle, I think they don't have sprinters. You know, they're strikers. They don't have very quick attackers. So I don't think so. Our defense will have problem. I really don't. The problem is that for them it's the creativity and the finishing. So if they're a team who would try to win 1-0, they would not go for 2-0, 3-0 or something like that. They would just wait for the chances on the counter, sit back, enjoy. That's what they've been doing for the whole season. That's what they did against Manchester United and every other team, most probably. So I think that's what they are going to do. So if we don't take our chances, it's going to be a 0-0. Same a repeat of what Burnley.
Yeah. Richard.
Well, going into the Newcastle game, you would expect that we would get 3 points. In terms of the way everything has been going, I wouldn't be surprised if it would be either a 1-0 or maybe even a draw. The reason why, because I think that it's our attacking that's been a problem at the moment. Defensively, I think we've looked quite solid. Mikel Arteta is going back to basics. Fix the defense first, then sort midfield, then attacking. And you know what a team like Newcastle are going to do? They're going to sit back. So I wouldn't be surprised if they play a 3 at the back. So to have more at the back. And I think they'll be pressing more higher up. They'll be pressing more towards their end. And they'll try and make it very difficult for us to get in. But I would like to see us to get a win. But as Glenn said and as IG said, a convincing win, not a win where we've been struggling for 50, 60 minutes. Go out there, hit them on the break, hit them on the get-go. So, yeah.
I disagree with Newcastle sitting back. I think, is there any team that sits back these days at the Emirates? I think every team knows Arsenal are weak in defense and every team tries to attack us. I mean, they have that Saint Maxim man guy on the left wing. They have a very quick Almiron. So I think those teams will really, that kind of team will try and get something from the Emirates.
That's a very good point, Glenn, you make there.
Yeah, can I destroy that point? Because Almiron actually has been quite wasteful in his finishing. He's got his first goal recently, and Alan Sam Maximan is only about dribbling. He's not got pace. He's an unbelievable dribbler. So if you just have got to take care of 2 people, they don't have pace. Our defenders are slow enough. If you have a Mane running at them, they're gonna pee. They're really going to get wet in their pants because they don't have the pace. Mustafi will give up. Somebody like Adama Traore, he beat Van Dijk for that cross. The game Liverpool won 2-1 recently against Wolves. The lone goal that came in, Traore actually beat for that assist which Jimenez scored. So I think if you don't have quick attackers, I don't think so Arsenal have anything to worry about. They just have to play the game exactly how they played against Burnley.
The last time they beat us, Andy Carroll scored in 2010. And you know who's in the Newcastle team this season? Andy Carroll. If he's fit, we're in trouble.
God daring me. Listen, I'm going to call this Easy Talk Bite Size to an end. And before I do, there's just one more chat that's come in from Stan the Man, who says, "Thanks, guys. Great show. Proper made me chuckle today." Most of you will or maybe will not know that Stan the Man is actually the host of Gooners in Vancouver. He does his video reaction, and he's great videos that he does. He's a contributor on Cannon Fodder TV, and we are grateful not only to Stan the Man, but everyone who comes on Cannon Fodder TV, whether it's the panels, the subscribers, the followers on Twitter. And so we've arrived at this point where we're actually celebrating today 2 years of creation on Twitter and YouTube. IG, absolutely quality panelists on the evening. Thank you again for coming back on Cannon Fodder TV, IG.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure, and I want my cupcakes.
I've eaten them all.
The joy and the diabetes. Congratulations.
Thank you, Richard.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure being a part of Cannon Fodder TV. And Al, congratulations on your 2 years. I've been on YouTube for 4 years this March. So and hopefully many more years to come.
Thank you very much. And I haven't actually told anyone this, and I haven't told Richard this, and I know Richard's going to be very, very surprised. But we had a break, and we decided that we were not going to do any more fan comments. However, the powers that be have told me that we must get back doing fan comments every Monday. So, Richard, as from not next week, but week after, we are back with fan comments when we go through all the comments that all the subscribers religiously put on Cannon Fodder TV. IG, you want to say something?
Why was it scrapped, first of all?
Say again?
Why was it scrapped, first of all? Why was it scrapped?
I'll tell you when we go off the air. But anyhow. And Glenn, the new improved Glenn, thank you for coming for the first time and not the last time on Cannon Fodder TV, Glenn.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun. Nice speaking to you, Richard. Nice speaking to you, IG, and you, Alex. Definitely gonna come back next time. And one thing I can say, I have a YouTube channel by Glenn Kitely. I do previews, I do player ratings and all that, Premier League previews in general. So make sure you check that out. And definitely I'm gonna check out Richard's channel and anyone else who has a channel. IG, you run a channel?
Yes, I do. It's called Indian Gooner.
Okay, I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah.
Sure.
If you go into the comments after this, once it goes up, I'll leave my channel link in the comments box. Because not everyone can find it for some reason.
Yeah, and I also try and remember to leave IG's channel, also Twitter handle as well in the comments box once we've done on the Easy Talk. But guys, if you've been wondering who or what you've been watching Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over the world. And it's a happy birthday to us.